Hi everyone, welcome back to BH. It's me Vinod recording from Anand's desk. Anand's on the other side. He's probably going to record the next video after I'm done. I tried to quickly squeeze in as he was transitioning between channels. What did I want to talk about today? Well, at the time I'm recording, the markets have closed, and though the markets opened very positively today, and there's a lot of expectation in the market, and I did understand in the morning, but then by afternoon that is, things have turned sour. And the markets across the board, the stocks, especially what we have been looking at, have all taken a solid beating. Of course, the leader on the board is IndusInd, and I can understand why a lot of you are pondering after yesterday's video on IndusInd. Probably thought, okay, the worst is behind us and it can't get any worse. Well, Mr. Market today decided to show you, oh, it can get a lot worse before it can get better. So how bad will it get? I don't know. Is this just because of the GST tussle IndusInd's had with the government over the 30 crores? It definitely can't be. It doesn't make sense, does it? But that's how Mr. Market reacts. When it's in a negative spiral, every single news can be something to sell into. And this is one of those reasons. We have seen it on the flip side a year ago, when every single small piece of news was reasons to buy into a stock and has taken our marketing to dizzying heights. Now it's the reverse. Anything which looks suspicious now is considered to be the enemy of the state. Don't panic is what I would say. As long as you're staying in tiffin coffee ranges and you're looking at small investments, you'll be fine, not to worry about it. Don't overanalyze your investments. It would be my current advice. Look at businesses, like I said in the last video, the businesses are sound, the management is sound, keep investing. Of course, when I shared the FI data from yesterday, that the FIs had been net buyers, and even the DIs were overall small net buyers. You're all wondering, is the worst behind us? No, it's not. There is nothing right now which is behind us. If anything, a lot more is ahead of us. We are completely clueless on what Mr. Trump has planned, President Trump that is, and his cohorts have planned, because if anything, there is a lot of confusion. Every day, more and more from the White House seems to be sending mixed signals to the market. Until these mixed signals start to settle down, it's going to take some time. Because though we know this is the way he governs, we've seen it in his past presidency, the problem is his actions currently have real world implications. Even if a tariff is slapped on for a week or two, it has long running implications. The problem is, if you think about it, even the slightest thing of a notion of a tariff gets straight into a logjam. If you are sending something from one country to another and you're shipping something, you're uncertain what should be your invoicing, what should be your tax, what should be payable to the customer. There is so much of lack of clarity. And because the tariffs are on and off, this clarity seems to be lacking. And this is going to be more and more, especially when 2nd of April is coming, where some of these what he has signed will come into effect. Of course, now he said he has signed the papers, but he's left it to each individual cabinet or cabinet secretary and his underlings to implement how much they want to implement or not implement. He seems to have taken a softening of the stance. Then, lo and behold, last evening, suddenly he decided that Venezuelan oil is something the Venezuelan government is enjoying too much, and using narcos as the main reason, and the domestic terrorism threat thanks to these gangs coming from Venezuela. He's used that as the reason, and he slapped a 25% tariff on all countries dealing with Venezuelan oil. India, of course, is dealing in Venezuelan oil through Reliance. The other countries which are dealing in Venezuelan oil, of course, is China. China is one of the largest users of Venezuelan oil. But of course, European countries such as Italy and Spain are also users of Venezuelan oil. So it's rather confusing. And he says this is a tax on tax. So really don't understand what that means and what are the implications. So this is what will be the road going forward for some time. So you will see markets moving and correcting. Why is the rupee suddenly becoming so strong when we expected it to become weaker and weaker? The simple reason is, with all this craziness which is going on, more remittance is coming back to India thanks to all the Indians living outside. There's a sense of fear. When there's a sense of fear, flight comes back, capital comes back to home base. And India is a home base for a lot of Indians, of course, NRIs. Even people are holding green cards are feeling a little nervous in the US. And this is not only in the US, this is all across Europe. the job market, everything. There seems to be a lot of confusion in the air. So there is a flight of capital from the reverse sense coming back to India that brings in a lot more dollars. Then of course there's been some huge investments happening in India which has led to a lot of dollars. Before that, all this news broke out. RBI itself was taking steps to strengthen the rupee and shore up the rupee. So all these have implications which has led to the rupee to where it is. So if this continues, it will again weaken after some time. How long will it take? That's unpredictable. What are the effects of this? Like I said in the last videos, companies which are exporting will feel pain. Companies which are importing will feel a bit of relief. Other than that, it's nothing more for small investors, retail investors like you and me to really worry about. And as far as gold is concerned, yes, it did correct. It will eventually go back to where it was projected to go, closer and closer to that magical number of 10000. But to take that long course might be a little jagged, but we'll eventually get there. Because gold corrected in India, simple reason is when the Indian rupee becomes stronger, our cost of importing gold goes down. So that also averages out. Though in the American market, gold really hasn't moved much. It has softened a little bit and corrected a little bit, but it hasn't really tremendously moved. 3000 is a big number, it's a big barrier, and we have breached it. Usually it will sit there for a little while before it starts moving north again. It will eventually start moving north because there is really nothing, globally speaking, which is really going to bring much cheer to Mr. Market. And the bright side to us Indians is, talking about global landscapes, India is still a great market to invest in. Our GDP is one of the better numbers looking at even compared to China, and we are politically stable. So that are two important things our investors outside India look at, that our governance is stable. So you may agree or not agree is a different thing, but it is stable. There is no uncertainty in it there. So policies are very straightforward. And looking at Americans, our policies seem starting to look a lot more straightforward than theirs. And also, like I said, our growth, corporate growth, is starting to slowly take a turn upwards. So earnings might improve. In that prospect, we might see more capital flow coming into India in the short term at least. But all of this, like I said in the previous video, really doesn't matter. We're looking at investing for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, especially you young ones who are like Rupesh and Karthi behind the camera. If your horizons are that long, don't worry about all this. In the long term, all this will be incidental news you'll probably be sharing with your children over a cup of coffee in some nice place. You'll be living off your wealth at that point of time. Right now, it may cause you some nervousness. Like yesterday when I spoke on Instagram, there was a person who had invested in NATCO and was having an average price of X. Then he saw it going down and it led to him having anxiety, and he couldn't control his anxiety and he liquidated it. Then after liquidating it, he saw the price coming back up and he felt terrible about it. Hey, I get it. Even my average price of NATCO is 1,100. I'm like, so what? It doesn't matter. If I see an opportunity to invest, I invest because I'm trying to own a business here. Keep that in mind. Stop checking your prices all the time. Stop looking at your averages all the time. If you have some money to invest and you find something of value, look at investing is all I'm saying. Keep that discipline in mind and you should be fine in these turbulent times, and don't worry. Tomorrow is another day and have another opportunity to invest again. And if you find courage, IndusInd is there. A time will come probably a few years from now when IndusInd is somewhere else and a lot of you will say, I missed it. I really mucked it up. So it is an opportunity and that's why I'm trying to tell you here. But of course, please do not go drop the kitchen sink on IndusInd. Some of you are going saying, I'll buy 50, 60 IndusInd stock. Please do not do that. That's madness. Yesterday you probably bought one. Today you probably bought one. And continue doing that as long as you see value. That is the approach you should take. So I hope you heed to my caution and you listen to what I'm saying. Thanks for watching Be Rich as always. Thanks for supporting the channel. And I do appreciate all the likes and comments, especially the last few videos. And I've been asking since Rupesh has been really looking forward to your comments to push the videos in the algorithm. I do not know if they really do anything. But anyway, we are very grateful for all the support and love and affection shown to the channel. Thank you for watching Be Rich. See you tomorrow. Thank you.